Every evening, at exactly 8 p.m., an old lamp glowed in the second-floor window of a quiet brick house at the edge of town. People walking by always noticed it. The warm, yellow light never missed a night, no matter the season. Summer nights, it cast long shadows of trees on the sidewalk. In autumn, it glistened between fiery orange leaves. On snowy nights, it glowed against a backdrop of white, offering a cozy beacon in the cold. But she also knew her son was not just a helper. He was a healer, bringing comfort and aid to those who had suffered. But soon enough, life went on. For most, Adam's sacrifice faded into memory, another casualty of distant conflicts. But for Amira, her son was not just a memory. He was a living part of her soul. She had heard the stories about the woman in the window, but had never seen her. But the townspeople never forgot the light in the window or its meaning. Many of them kept their own lamps or candles ready, lighting them every evening at precisely 8 p.m. in silent solidarity with the woman at the window. Outside, the townspeople huddled close, some shedding tears, others whispering prayers. They didn't know Mrs. Amira was watching from her window, a gentle smile on her lips, but also in honor of her son, Adam, and all those who had loved and missed him. And slowly, other people began doing the same. Alina placed the lamp in the window, inviting passersby to do the same. At 8 p.m., the lamp glowed, a soft yellow light against the darkening sky. Across the street, a young boy with curious eyes asked his mother, "Can we light our lamp tonight?" The woman smiled and nodded. Soon, the whole town was aglow, a sea of warm lights in the gathering dusk. No one really knew when the lights stopped. Maybe months later, maybe years, but even long after, people still remembered the woman who taught them that love doesn't always fade. Sometimes it simply glows quietly, night after night. The next morning, the first rays of sunlight revealed a somber sight. On the porch was a single yellow rose and a note. The townspeople gathered, sharing their grief and support. They spoke of Mrs. Amira's quiet strength, her grace and dignity. They reminisced about the stories she'd shared, the kindness she'd shown. And they all wondered what would become of the house with the light. They never knew exactly why she kept the light on, nor did they need to. Their respect and understanding grew with each passing year. The new owner was a young woman named Alina, who planned to open an art studio in the building. She admired the house's history and vowed to preserve its spirit. One evening, as Alina stood by the window, ready to light her first lamp of the night, she heard footsteps. It was an elderly woman from down the street. She handed Alina a small box, saying, "This belonged to Mrs. Amara. "I think it should stay here." Inside, nestled on velvet, was an old lamp, brass, tarnished with age. The woman explained it was the original lamp, the one Mrs. Amara had kept alight all those years. Alina took it, feeling the weight of the object, the history it held. Today, curiosity got the better of her. As she walked past, she looked up and saw the lamp glowing in the afternoon sun. The sky was gray, the wind was cold, and the townspeople waited. Some wondered if the woman was ill or worse. Others just felt a pang of sadness at the thought that the nightly ritual had ended. But they didn't know the half of it. Inside the house, Amira lay in bed, a soft blanket over her lap. She was weak and frail, her breathing shallow. She knew her time was near. She wasn't afraid. She had lived a good life, a life filled with love, loss, and quiet heroism. Her son had given the ultimate sacrifice, and she had honored him every day for 15 years. Now, as the lamp flickered in a window, casting long shadows on the wall, she felt peace. Hesitantly, she knocked on the door. Mira opened, startled. She rarely got visitors, especially not children. Seeing the girl, she instinctively closed the door, but the child called out, "Are you the lady with the light?" Amused, Mira opened the door again and beckoned the girl in. Over tea and cookies, they talked. The girl learned about the light and the extraordinary young man it represented. In turn, the girl told Mira about her own life, about school and friends and dreams of becoming a painter. As the afternoon wore on, Mira found herself smiling, laughing even. For the first time in years, she felt a lightness in her heart. The girl left around sunset, promising to return. From then on, the afternoon glow in the window wasn't just for Adam, it was for Lily, too, a symbol of friendship, shared stories, and the healing power of childhood innocence. Grief threatened to consume her, so she did the only thing she could think of to honor her son's memory. She kept the lamp on in the window. At first, it was just a small flame flickering in the darkness, mirroring the flicker of candlelight in the photographs of her son. She talked to the lamp as if to a living thing. She told it about her day, about her worries, about the dreams she had of her son. The lamp listened patiently, offering silent comfort in the quiet house. So she gave him her blessing, though her eyes filled with tears, knowing she might not see him again. It became a symbol of hope, a beacon of remembrance, a connection to her son. The glow in the window became a part of the townscape, a fixture of daily life, something most people barely noticed. But for Amira, it was a lifeline. Whenever she felt overwhelmed by grief, she tended the lamp. Whenever she remembered a funny story about Adam, she shared it with the light. Whenever the world outside felt too dark and cold, The lamp offered a comforting warmth. And then the unthinkable happened. Amira received a call that no parent should ever get. Adam had been caught in an ambush. His team attacked. They had managed to evacuate him, but he was badly hurt. By the time he reached the hospital, it was too late. He died in surgery. The doctors spoke highly of Adam. A true hero, they said, but a hero nonetheless gone. It was a comforting constant, like the hands of an old clock. And most folks passing by knew its rhythm, but few knew the story behind it. Few had ever even seen the woman who lived there. But it was a story of loss, remembrance, and quiet heroism, far more beautiful and heartbreaking than any child could have imagined. The light in the window was not a mere habit or custom. It was a promise, a vow, a bond between a mother and her son. 15 years earlier, Amira's son, Adam, had lived in this very house. He was an adventurous spirit with a kind heart. When he graduated from university, he didn't take a typical job, but joined a humanitarian aid organization, traveling to war-torn countries and disaster areas. He rebuilt homes, distributed food and supplies, offered medical aid, always putting the needs of others before his own. Inside the house, nestled in a worn armchair by the window, sat an elderly woman with thick silver hair and kind eyes that twinkled like the lamp in the window. Her name was Mrs. Amira, and she had lived in that house all her life. She rarely went out. Most townspeople only knew her as the woman with the light. Children passing by would make up fantastical stories about the mysterious glow. Some said the house was haunted and the ghost was trying to call someone home. Others said the light was magical, perhaps a genie trapped inside the lamp, or an enchanted flame that spun tales of adventure and faraway lands. And while these stories were just that, fanciful imaginings of youthful minds, there was a certain magic to the light, a tale woven into its glow. Amira worried, of course. Any mother would fret over her child working in such dangerous places. The small town where Amira lived was shocked. They mourned with her, sent flowers, and offered condolences. As the days turned into weeks, and the weeks into months, the lamp became more than just a flame. One day, a young girl from down the street, no older than 8, was playing near the house. Years passed, seasons changed, and the glow in the window continued, unwavering and steadfast. People moved away, and new families moved in. Then, one evening, the lamp didn't come on. That night, the wind howled and rain lashed against the window, but the lamp stayed on, steady and bright. Over the next few weeks, the house was sold, emptied, and renovated. From that night on, Alina kept the lamp on every evening, not just in memory of Mrs. Amara,